What's up, Saints and Eights? Today I'm going to show y'all my quick makeup routine. This is my routine for when I need to be out the door and don't feel like putting on a face full of makeup. So for brows, you're just going to need two things, your brow gel and a concealer. I'm going to go in with the brow gel and I'm going to lay my brows down, and then I'm going to follow up with the concealer and kind of carve the brows out. And for these, I'm using the Nyx Brow Glue, and this is in the shade dark brown. And for the concealer, I'm using Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex Concealer, and this is in the shade 14. And I just kind of brush in the natural direction of my brows. And I like using a brow gel that has a little color to it because it kind of by default kind of does a little filling in. And I take the cap and then just kind of lay that down. The goal is not to, we're not looking overdone here. This is like just enough makeup. I hate the phrase no makeup, but this is like literally just enough to look put together. All right, so now I've got the brows laid down. I'm going to now go in with the concealer and carve out the shape of the brow. All right, and I'm going to use this flat brush here to carve one of my favorite brushes. And I just kind of pat that in, and I'm going to end up pulling this down over the eyelid. Goal is just to make the brows look neat. I'm going to take the remaining concealer on my palette and just put it over right here on my eyelids. And then using my Sephora 71 Pro Concealer brush, I'm just going to pat that into the lid. Alright, this is just because I have a harsh line here, and that's not going to look very no makeup. This is where I stop with the eyes. If you want, because again, this is supposed to be easy, so I'm not going to put any eyeshadow on my eyes. If you do need that pop of color, you can take some bronzer and swipe it over your eyes for that pop of color. You can skip this step if you don't have hyperpigmentation, but if you do, you're still going to need to conceal a little bit. If you don't, the whole purpose of this exercise has kind of been lost. I'm using a concealer that's kind of close to my skin complexion, not really an orange, so I'm not going to say color correcting. I'm using the Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex in the shade 17. Not using a lot. I'm just going around my mouth and under the eye. All right, and then that's it. And I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to blend it in. Go back in with that same Sephora brush and just pat in the concealer. This next step, there are either one or two products that I use depending on how my skin is feeling. It's either the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. This has Upsolite in it, so it's great for like absorbing oil. So if I'm having an oily day, I'm going to reach for this. And then if skin is a little dry or what have you, I'm either going to use the Yummy Skin Tint. And today I'm just going to go with the Blurring Balm Powder. This is what the shade 9.5 looks like. So that it doesn't slide all over my face, I usually scoop a little Blurring Balm Powder out first and then put it onto a palette, spread it around, and then put it on my face. And that's just because the Blurring Balm Powder, when you kind of heat it up a little bit, it does different. And so that's it. And not much. The most that I use is this scoop here, and about a scoop about that much off, and just a little bit. I put makeup on my forehead. Definitely will put makeup on my forehead and then down to the neck. Now for the highlight, using the same shade I did for my brows, it's the Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex in the shade 14, and just lightly under the eyes. And yes, for this I do 3 dots of concealer. I can't believe it. But you don't need a lot because this is just looking put together. This is not a beat. Let that dry down a little bit, and then we're going to blend it in. To blend my under, I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks My Kitco My Yummy Base Flat Brush, one of my favorites. And just go just real gently and just tap. I'm going to add a little blush to my cheeks using the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Flushed. This is in the shade Golden Hour, one of my favorite shades. Now we're going to set all of this with our powders. Yes, it still has to be set because even though it's not a lot of makeup, you still want it to last. So setting is going to be key. All right, to set my under eye, I'm going to start with the Mcgrath pressed Sublime Skin Under Eye Powder. Press that in with a puff. Just press that in. And then I'm going to go back in with a setting powder, Huda Beauty setting powder in the color Cherry Blossom. I really want to get my hands on that purple. take this Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and set the rest of my face. Now I'm going to melt these powders using the MAC Fix Plus, spray it here on a puff and pat it into my face. Alright, so now you know it's my favorite time of my makeup routine, the lip combo. Today I'm using Old Faithful, my one size lip snatcher pencil, and this is in the shade Coin Collector. This is the perfect shade of brown for me. And now for the lip oil, I'm not going to use the gloss today. I'm going to use the Ame Colé lip oil in the shade Happy. Alright, so got it lined to my satisfaction. Again, not doing too much. And I like this shade of lip oil because it's just real close to my natural lip shade and just gives like a nice little kiss of color. Alright, Saints and Eights, this is the final look. I'm headed out to go run my errands. I hope you all enjoyed this no makeup tutorial. Make sure you subscribe for more. Till next time, love you. Bye.